Everything I ever wanted to know about money, but I was afraid to ask. My name is CF Hutter, and your business buys Bitcoin. You can call me Chauncey. You know how when you watch those money segments, those TV shows or online social media, business channels, all the different places they talk about money, and they're using all these big words and phrases, and they bring the financial people in from the Ivy schools, and they say all the stuff, and you got no idea what they're talking about? Yeah, that's intentional. They're doing that on purpose. They literally get on TV, get on their little blogs, they do their little social media videos. They want you to be confused. They want to use those big terms that they learned in business school. Why do you think that is? It's because they're saying, yeah, Mr. Jones, you got a bunch of money. You don't know how all this stuff works. Just hand it over to me and I'll invest it for you, and I will make a nice little commission. That's what's going on. Okay? The money has been broken your whole lifetime and my whole lifetime. Every government on the earth for the last 5,000 years, how long you want to go back, has issued a currency. It could have been seashells, it could have been rocks, it could have been copper coins, it could have been dollars, it could have been peso, whatever it was. After a period of time, you just have to go out long enough, in every case, the money went bad. The government overissued because they had the power to issue more, and they inflated the currency and it went bad. Oh no, there's not one exception. There's not two exceptions. There's not five. 0 exceptions. So if that's the context of what people are talking to us about money, and they're saying how they know about money, but you and I know that they may talk a good game, and they're all sitting around at the cocktail parties and talking back and forth about how much this fund is and what they do over there with their money and what this other investment. I want it simple. I want to be straight up, talk plainly. I want to know what's really going on. And what's really going on is they are telling you to invest money in something where they're going to get paid and you're going to get paid. You might get paid a little bit, but over time, the money that's being used is getting worse. It's deflating. It's deteriorating. It's losing value. Why would you want to invest in something like that? Because that's all we've had, right? That's all we've had until now. What happened? What's different? Well, I didn't know. This wasn't even on my radar until COVID. COVID happens, I'm watching the news like everybody else, and I see everybody, we're going to stay home for 2 weeks. 2 weeks turn into be longer, and we, leave your work. The economy's tanking. Nobody has any money. The government decides to pass a bunch of laws, and there's a big fat multiple trillion dollar, and my kids are sitting there watching the thing with me, and they said they're going to send everybody a check, and the kids are like, that sounds great, we're going to get some free money. And I said, kids, this is not good. This is not good. We all are going to pay for this through inflation a year, 2 years down the road. It's just math. It just is what happens. And so when someone hands you free money that's just printed, there's consequences. But then later on, they said on the news, I'm not sure how much further out, someone gave a statistic. It might have been the second stimulus, after the second stimulus. In an 18-month period, the United States had printed more money than the previous 245 years combined. That woke my brain up. I was like, what? We just printed more money in the last year and a half than our whole nation's existence? Something's wrong. Something is about to happen. I'm like, this ain't right. That's when I decided there has to be something out there that is a solution. Like there's got to be something that we can do. And I had a solution. I just didn't know that I knew the solution. I'd heard about Bitcoin before. I'd heard about Bitcoin years earlier. I was talking to people about, I had a client tell me about Bitcoin. He bought my coaching program because after he just made $50,000 in Bitcoin. I knew about Bitcoin before. What I did not, I just, on the surface, I did not go into depth and understand. COVID and this woke, give everybody money and print it all, and it's all good, no consequences. That was the slap in the face and woke me up. And now I say thank God. Thank God that there was, you don't want to think, there's tragedies and there's bad things that happen. I don't like those things, but if you take some of those tragedies and something good comes out of it, like learning about Bitcoin, I say it's a win. So I would submit to you, if you think there's something wrong with just printing money and inflating the currency, by the way, inflation isn't going to stop forever. It might be 2%, 5%, 50%, 100%, 20%. Inflation will always get worse. Inflation is never going to get better. It is always going to be, our currencies are always going to be more inflated. If that's the case, somebody needs to learn about Bitcoin. I'm going to learn about Bitcoin. I hope you learn about Bitcoin. And after you learn, I hope you invest in Bitcoin. It is definitely Bitcoin time.